ma'am. How are you?
So, did you have a good day at work today?
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Did you Are you having a good day so far?
Yes, ma'am. I'm having a good day. Can
Okay,
I
that's
just?
great.
Yes, yes.
You
Now
can't
you're
see me?
visible.
Now I'm visible. Okay, perfect. Great. I'm going to, I want you to open up your chat box and I'm going to type something in the chat box. Can you open up your chat box for me, please? Is it open? Do you see what I have typed in the chat box right now?
Yes. Hi.
Okay. Okay. What I'm going to type a word in the chat box. I want you to tell me whatever comes to your mind. Maybe it is an incident, maybe it is different words or expressions related to that word, or whatever comes to your mind related to that word, I want you to tell me.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
This is the word.
Lazy.
Yes. So whenever you're ready, Jaya, you can start talking.
Yes. So I want to say that I am a lazy person, and I'm the laziest person, I guess.
Okay.
And when I'm not at work and I'm at home, then most of the time I am either sitting in front of the TV or lying down reading a book. So I mostly lead a, sedentary lifestyle, and I think everyone is. I think it's a part of human nature. Sometimes sometimes we're active, sometimes we try to get rest, be a little relaxed, and think of what happened in the entire day, or maybe to think of what will happen and how you're going to lead your life, what are your goals and all. So it's good to be lazy sometimes, but if it becomes a constant thing, then it's harmful.
Perfect. Are you done?
Yes.
I actually really liked the way you spoke, Jack. Very nice. Grammatically correct sentences. First class job. The only problem I had, the ums in between. There was a lot of ums. And I wish, had that not been there, spot on. It would have been first class. You mentioned some very good points. You talked about having a sedentary lifestyle. You said it was a part of human nature. Those were the two best parts of your speech, the presentation wise. I actually really think that you have good presentation skills, but the constant pauses in between are the issue that I have. So you started off the conversation by saying, let's review what you spoke. You started off the conversation by saying, I am a laziest person. I'm sorry, I'm a lazy person. Then you said, I am the laziest person. Okay. Now, technically, okay. So I think because you were not ready or you were not prepared, it was an impromptu topic. So this is called as an impromptu. This is an impromptu, which is unexpected. Okay. So it's a sudden thing or it's an unexpected thing. It's not, this is something that you're not prepared for. So that is why I think you said that I'm a lazy person. In fact, I'm the laziest person. So you could have actually started off the conversation by saying that the word lazy, sorry, you can say that, uh, you can say lazy and I are two words that go hand in hand. How's it? Lazy and I are two words that go hand in hand. Okay. So you can say that, frankly, laziness and I are besties. If you're having a casual conversation or a semi formal conversation, you can always say that, frankly, laziness and I are besties. You can replace frankly with to be honest. To
Yes.
be honest, laziness and I are besties. You can replace the word with besties as buddies, or you can say best friends, which is a very common thing. I just thought best friends is very boring, which is why I thought, frankly, laziness and I could be besties. You could also say that, frankly, laziness and I could be soul sisters. Or you could say that frankly, laziness and I could be siblings from other mothers. You see, when you see, there's a smile on your face. When you actually make sentences like this, what you're doing is you're opening the conversation with a sense of humor. And in the process, it actually shows a facet of your personality. It does not make you seem like a very boring, very normal, very routine, very mundane sort of person. When you have a presentation in the organization that you're working in, and supposing you're doing a presentation to a client or to your boss or to your colleague, there is no harm in actually starting off a presentation like this by using these kinds of words, because it actually sets the tone for the rest of the presentation, for the rest of the session. You get it? So it's always nice to infuse a sense of humor into a sense of quirkiness. We call it quirkiness. Quirkiness means, like the fun side of you, the fun, strange side of you. It's always nice to actually infuse that into your presentation, because then it shows that, this girl is good. Let's hear. She's got something interesting to say. So you can say that laziness and I are besties. Then you can go on and say that once I'm back from work, my routine involves lazing around, with a focus on the word lazing around in front of the television, or lying down, or getting comfortable with a book. Once I'm back from work, my routine involves lazing around. Rather than saying that I just go and sit in front of the television, I would have preferred that you jazz up your vocabulary. You're a working professional, so there is a certain extra that is expected from you. So I would have expected you to say something like, my routine involves lazing around in front of the television or getting comfortable. Getting comfortable is one way of saying this. Another way of saying this is cozying up with a book. Cozy up. Cozy up is a standard expression, which means get comfortable. Get comfortable with a book. So you can say that, cozying up with a book. You can say that inherently, now you get a little serious. Now you're getting into the serious mode, because you can't always have fun and games. You need to be a little serious also. So you can say inherently, human nature has both an active and a passive side. Or another way of saying this is inherently, humans tend to have a lazy bone inbuilt in them. Some of us display it a little more strongly than the others. So again, as you can see, we are serious, but lacing it with humor. What is the meaning of lacing it? Lacing it means just giving a little, like for instance, when you stitch, you've got a pretty kurta. So, your kurta, the neckline of your kurta has got a bit of piping. So it's technically an ordinary kurta. But what happens is when you put a piping on it, there's just a simple border, but that simple border gives life to your kurta. Do you get what I'm saying? So you're lacing your speech with humor. So we're starting off the conversation by saying inherently, spelling is wrong, sorry, inherently, humans tend to have a lazy bone. Lazy bone, by the way, is a standard expression. They tend to have a lazy bone. There is no such thing as a real lazy bone. I'm sure you're aware of that. We're just calling it as a lazy bone. Inherently, humans tend to have a lazy bone inbuilt in them. Full stop. I forgot to put a full stop there. I apologize. It's a full stop. I think it's understood. Some of us display it a little more strongly than the others. So again, we are actually stating a fact, but if you've noticed, we've injected a little bit of humor in it, in a mild dose. Got it? Now it's time to end the conversation. End the conversation on a good note. You can say that it's good to be lazy at times, but too much is not really a good thing. But too much of anything, but too much of anything
Exactly.
can be hazardous. How is it?
Great.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll just pat myself on the back. No, no, I'm joking. You were really good. All I'm saying is, see, to be fair with you, Jaya, I can't really blame you for this because even if my instructor suddenly told me, listen, Neetu, I'm going to ask you to speak about a topic that I'm just going to type in the chat box. I'm like, okay, so I'll also be taken aback. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell do I say? But it is very important that whatever you say, even if you have the pauses in between, try to use. If you've noticed, I haven't used any fancy words, but
Mhm.
I have used regular words in strategic positions in order to be able to deliver the content and make the other person interested. So, for instance, you yourself said it was great. I don't think you were just saying that to compliment me and make me feel over the moon. I think you genuinely meant it or meant it. So, genuinely meant it. So, yeah. So the thing is, that is because you actually were captivated by what you were hearing. But to be honest with you, I have actually just mentioned 4 or 5 sentences. But in those 4 or 5 sentences, they are all what you actually said, by the way. I haven't taken anything from my book, or I haven't written anything out of my context. You get it? What I'm saying is, I just made what you said a little more interesting. And that is what you call as a professionally interesting conversation. Okay? So, keeping this in mind, let's do this all over again. I'm going to give you a new topic. Let's see if you can do a little better than this one. This was good.
Yes,
On a
I'll
scale of
try.
1 to 10, yes, you should. I'm sure you can. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give this one a 7. I'll give this one a 7. I would have given you an 8 if you hadn't paused so much. So, try to minimize the pauses in the next topic. Okay? Right.
Yes.
Ready? There we go.
I'm not able to see the chat.
Oh, can you go down? Can you scroll down? Are you not able to scroll down?
No, nothing is happening.
Oh, right. Okay. Can you close your chat box and reopen it? Is that possible?
No, there is only one option, cancel and leave.
Oh, geez. Can you do that? Is that possible? Can you cancel and leave and see what happens?
Then I will be out from the meeting.
Oh, right. Okay, fine. Fair enough. In that case, don't worry about it. I will tell you the topic: books versus television.
Okay. So, it's a debatable topic, books versus television. And if I talk about myself, then I like reading books more than watching television. And I enjoy reading. I love reading fiction, and I love uh, how a book can take you into another world, imaginary world, and you can see and understand the author's perspective, and you 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 can feel the emotion of the writer, which is a great thing because not it's not like what you are reading in a book is happening in your life, but still you're able to understand different situations and enjoy a book. It's like an escape for me. And if I talk about watching television, then I used to watch a lot of television when I was in school. There were some channels I used to watch a lot. For example, Discovery Channel, Animal Planets, and there were many reality shows that I used to watch. So, but nowadays, with the advent of social media, internet basically, people tend to read less and watch uh, contents visually. So studies, many researchers have uh, stated that the number of people reading books are decreasing day by day, which is, I think, not at all a good thing. But nowadays there are so many resources, and you can get information very easily on the tip of your finger. So that's why I think reading books are, number of people reading, the the number of people prefer to read book becomes less.
Okay,
That's
done. Okay, I have to be honest with you. I preferred the content that you gave me the first time around. When we spoke about laziness, that content seemed a little more stronger. There were a lot of pauses in that content. I'm not denying it. Having said that, the content was stronger. You spoke with more conviction. There was a lot more, you were able to convince me a lot more at that time. In this content, when I asked you about books versus television, I feel that it was not, you started off on a convincing note. You told me about books, and I love, because I'm a book lover myself. So I completely relate with what you said. Having said that, I wish you had spoken more about the television shows. You said you started the conversation by saying that when I was in school, I used to watch quite a bit of television shows, different kinds of television shows you mentioned. Having said that, then you completely went off base and you talked about research saying that people are watching more content, and that's not a good thing, and things like that. So you've sort of given a cliffhanger. Sorry. I'll type it in the chat box. You still can't see the chat box, yeah?
yes.
Okay. No issues. You can always refer to the recording. What I'm saying, you can refer back to the recording. I'll continue typing in the chat box. At some point, if you can refer to the chat box, that would be great. If not, just refer back to the record. So let's open
Yes.
with what you said. You said that this is a debatable topic. See, now calling it a debatable topic is, there's not it's not necessary, Jeff, because we started off with a debate question: books versus television. When the word versus is there, it is but evidence that it is a debatable topic. So what you could have said is, you could have started off by saying that this is a tough one. Again, it's a semi-formal way of starting the conversation. So you can say this is a tough one, or you can say this is a tough choice to make. Tough choice to make. Okay, so you can say that I have always been a book lover for as long as I can remember. I have always been a book lover for as long as I can remember. Once I read, or you can say that when I read a good book, or when I start reading a good thriller, or when I start reading a good book, you can say a thriller. You can, as an example, when I start reading a good thriller, I get transported to a whole other universe, to a whole other universe. Or instead of saying to a whole other universe, another way of saying this is, when I start reading a good thriller, when I start reading a good book, I get transported to a parallel universe. To a parallel universe. You can say, then the next sentence you can say is, you actually, what you said was nice about the author's perspective. So you can say that, however, you made 2-3 sentences about the author's perspective, which was actually unnecessary. So what you could have said is, it's beautiful, reading or understanding the author's perspective. And then you can continue the sentence by saying, many a times, perspective. Many a times, it's fascinating how different it is from what I inferred. That means you must have understood one thing from the book, but then the author actually reveals something else. So it's amazing, because you were actually seeing one perspective, but then the perspective was completely different. You can say television, on the other hand, is a visually appealing is a visually appealing media thanks to the fact that characters are brought to life through colors and music. Television, on the other hand, is a visually appealing media thanks to the fact that characters are brought to life through colors and music. There are many television shows, and this is what I wish you had said. There are many television shows that are based on books. And some of them have done justice to the books. However, my first love is always going to be a good book because nothing beats the crispness of you can say nothing beats understanding the perspective of another individual and end the conversation in that fashion. Jaya, I did not realize that you were a book lover. Did you ever mention this to me previously? Have I suggested any good books for you to read?
No, ma'am, no.
Oh, okay. Then I'm so happy that this conversation came up, even though it was by chance. Do you like thrillers?
Yes, ma'am.
In that case, I would highly recommend an author. Man, I really wish this chat box was working. There is an author called Jane Harper. So Jane, it's Jane, and the spelling is Harper, Harper. She's written 2 books. Phenomenal books. That's all I can say. One book is called The Dry. It's a little sentimental, but it is an amazing thriller. Believe me, you will not realize where you are leading with this book, The Dry. The other book is Force of Nature. Force of Nature. One of my personal favorite. Sorry?
I haven't heard about these books.
Okay, yeah. Jane Harper is an Australian author, so all her books are based in the Australian landscape. So these 2 books are, trust me, phenomenal books. The Dry and Force of Nature. They're both available on Amazon and on Flipkart. They are in the 300-400 price range, I believe. Another book I would highly recommend, The Woman at the Window. The Woman at the Window. This book is written by A.J. Finn. Capital A, capital J, Finn. Finn. And one of the best ultimate psychological thrillers, The Silent Patient. If you read The Silent Patient, I promise you, you will be hooked.
Yes, I have heard about it, The Silent Patient. Yes.
That one of my learners, he bought this book. Most of my learners, I recommend books, and most of them buy the books also, to be fair. So he bought this book, The Silent Patient. And you won't believe it, Ajay. Every time we used to start a class, he used to start with a review of the book. And I was waiting for him to finish the book because I knew he would not expect the ending, the climax, right? Because every time he told me, oh, madam, I think this is what's going to happen. This is what is going to happen. And I was like, listen, I am not telling you anything, Rakesh, you read the book for yourself, okay? And when he finally finished reading the book, it was unbelievable. He said, madam, I feel cheated. I said, what do you mean? Who cheated you? So he said, I think cheated by the author because the author made a different parallel universe. And he said so many things. But the point I'm trying to make, Jaya, is a good book sparks a great conversation. That's the beauty of books. And I'm sure you must have realized it because you are a book lover yourself. And I don't know whether you have spoken to similar book lovers, but I would really like to actually review a book with you. So maybe the next time we have a class, we could actually start off with a book that you have. And we could actually do a book review. In the meantime, I would recommend that you buy any of these books because these books will actually help you. That's why now it makes sense because your vocabulary is pretty decent compared to the other learners. You've got pretty good vocabulary. The only thing I feel is sometimes you're not convincing enough. You have to convince me, and I don't get easily convinced when you speak. That's the only problem that I have. Apart from that, your vocabulary is pretty decent. Yeah. So that's only because of books. So I would recommend that you buy any of these books, especially The Woman at the Window. First class. The Woman at the Window and The Silent Patient. If you haven't read The Silent Patient, Jaya, believe me, you will be hooked thrillers. I will talk. Yeah. And I don't know whether I told you this last time. I have a channel on social media. It's called Speak with
Yes,
Neetu.
yes, you
I
told
think
me
I told
about.
you. Yeah, check it out and see. I think you'll be able to enhance your vocabulary and your sentence construction using some of the videos there as well. Okay,
Yes, yes. Thank you
perfect.
so much.
I hope I hope you enjoyed today's session. It was really nice talking to you.
I
Uh,
learned a lot.
okay, that's great. That's the most important thing. And next time, what we'll do is when we have a session together, let's do a book review. We'll start off with the book that you have. Okay?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. Take care, Jaya. I'll see you soon.